Hi, my name's Colin. I'm from Stockport in the UK, and today I'd like you to join me in painting this watercolour. Okay, we're just going to mix up some washes for this painting, and this is just Prussian blue, just a weak wash. Then this will be Prussian blue and Indian red. Then we'll make some stronger versions. Prussian blue and Indian red again. Indian red's a very strong colour. Some alizarin crimson. Just a hint of Prussian blue. Maybe a bit more. Then we'll also need some yellow ochre. You can use raw sienna. I think this is raw sienna. Some burnt sienna. Some ultramarine. Some burnt umber. So we'll make your darks. Might need a fair bit of this. Okay, I'm just going to begin by just re-wetting the sky area. The paper has already been stretched in water. Go straight in with a wash of Prussian blue just over the sky, and then with the other mix of Prussian blue and Indian red, we just strengthen up parts of the sky. Just allow this to have its way and soak and spread. Into that we just drop some crimson across the sky, softening it slightly, spreading it. The stronger mix of Indian red and ultramarine. Now Prussian blue has a tendency to fade and dry about 50% lighter. Then whilst that is going, re-wet your lake area, weak wash of Prussian blue on it. Taking some out. Once again, wash of Prussian blue. Then with the same wash in the sky. Prussian blue and a mixture of Indian red. Into that, add some crimson. Strengthen it up in some areas. All done is I've left some masking fluid on the tree trunks on the bottoms, which you'll see later, also in the bushes. We'll paint the snow, re-wet the area, touches of Prussian blue in line with where you think the fall of land would be. That you can just drop a stronger mix Prussian blue and Indian red patches of light, just pulling it down in the bush area, soften some of the edges, just take some water off the paper. Take a damp 1-inch brush, and what we'll do is take out some paint, pops off with some kitchen towel, and then allow that to dry. Just one thing before it dries, with a damp flat brush, just remove some paint. You can put in some wind streaks. That will add some interest to your water. What we're going to do now is put some shadow side on the mountains. So decide where your shadows are going to be. Wet the area. Same on that one. Drop some pure, weak Prussian blue. Lift a little paint out if you feel you need to. Okay, with a mixture of Indian red and Prussian blue, we'll put some rocks into these mountains. See how strong that is. Don't forget to shape them. Into a gully just by rocking the brush in an arc. Obviously you'll get more time than me if you're doing this at home, but you get the idea. I'll just turn the camera off and you can finish doing your mountain. We'll do the same again to this mountain, but only with a slightly stronger mix. And yeah, again it's Indian red, Prussian blue, and it's nice to have some dark contrast between the light and the dark. This is just a real simple way of painting mountains. And you can create a kind of scree just by dragging the brush through it when the brush is almost dry. Obviously some of this will get covered up when we do the fir trees. You can decide where you want your rocks to be. But due to time, I'll finish this off. Now that you having done it, they look something like this. I'll show you how to create some tree lines in the background. This is just clean water. Now I'm just putting along the lakeside and a little bit up the mountain. With your stronger mix of Indian red and Prussian blue. If you start above where you've just laid the water in. The colour will bleed, but you'll still be left with the suggestion of fir trees in the background. Don't make them all the same size. Pin it up in areas as you go. Soften off with a damp brush. Wow. Look at that go. Your mixture will get weaker and weaker. So you end up with accidental colour on the brush. Soften off with a damp brush. Take some colour out along there. Soften it off all the time. Just taking some of the water out. Now that the paper's dried, we'll do the tops of the fir trees, and this is the real strong mixture of Prussian blue and Indian red. I'm just going to put the tops of these fir trees in. Helps to have a steady hand. Now we're going to put the main bulk of the trees in, so with some clean water. With your paper lying flat. Just brush some water into it. Don't have to be exact, so we're just dropping colour in. Like I said, probably that back mounting there will get covered up. Just brush it on. Just drop in some Prussian blue and Indian red. This is a fairly weak mixture because I want this to merge. Have it like that. Done the mix that we mixed up, we will just drop that in places. Dear. Drop my brush. I'll have to address that. It's known as fixing a mistake. And if you ever do what I've just done there, don't panic. Everything is fixable. Clean piece of paper towel. Mainly on the left hand side. Let's add some shadow. Same here. Who knows, maybe there's another tree there. And a little stipple brush. I'm just going to stipple in some growth. Once again with the damp brush, just soften the edges off. Then allow all that to dry. Okay, now the background colour for the trees is dried. It's time to put on some darks and just shape these fir trees. This is a rigger brush, and once again this is a real dark mix of Prussian blue and Indian red. It's the same everywhere. Don't be too precise with this. If you drag the brush, you end up with a much more natural effect. As I said before, you can take more time with yours than I can with mine. We'll just give it some limbs. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off now, and you can carry on with this at home and do the same to these trees here. Welcome back. I'm just finishing up the trees on the right hand side. That'll do it. And when we mixed up the ultramarine and burnt umber, we'll add some, drop in some dark shadow sides. Darken. Same on this side. Just play with a few darks and lights. Undergrowth. Just making it slightly darker. Little bush there. Just darken the underside of the bush. Take a damp brush, and basically that's a fully loaded brush with water, and I'm just wiping it on a towel so all the excess water is taken off. Soften the edges in. Same on this side. Like that. Put a few twigs growing off the fir trees at the bottom where they've died and because they've got no light. To dry. Once your painting is completely dry and I've removed all the masking fluid, I'm going to gently soften in some colour. Bring it in from the surrounding trees. This is just to add some shadow under where there's snow. Yes. Just keep wetting your brush. Push it across. It's up to you how much you do of this, but don't get carried away and remove all your lights. Move into your bushes, and it just helps to break up the dark colour mixes. Tree trunks in. I'm going to put in a straightforward burnt sienna. Slightly bigger brush for that, I think. Trying to leave a little bit of light on the tree trunks, and then into that you can drop a mix of burnt umber and ultramarine. Down the sides. This is just to add some interest to your tree trunks. Around that one. We also have, I've just added the mix of burnt sienna. I've just added the ultramarine and burnt umber to it from this bush, and at the same time complete this birch tree. Of course there's no foliage on the birch tree because we're in midwinter. Just gently pull it round, turn your board upside down, and just continue with your rigger brush. Just put in your branches. You can put as many or as little branches as you want to on your painting. Change to a smaller rigger brush. Out. I'll just do a few of these, turn the camera off due to time again, and you just carry on putting your branches in. Now then, hopefully your tree looks something similar to that, and all I've done with the rest here is just added some twigs and sticks and branches and just softened off the edges. This was done with the burnt umber and ultramarine mix. All that's left to do now is to sign it and say thank you for watching. This is a painting that anybody can do.